Unfortunately, we had another loss to Atlanta, a game that we should have had. A lot of people complained about the referees, the officiating being the big thing. But going into that game, there was a report from Ramona Shelburne who said that Embiid suffered the same injury that he had during the playoffs, which would require 4 to 6 weeks to heal. But since then, she's retracted that and it's calling it a day-to-day injury. He's already out tonight versus Sacramento. And with 7 out of our next 11 games on the road and only 2.5 games ahead of the 8th seed, some people online, and obviously the Sixers land, people complain and panic a lot about things, but some online are panicking big time. And I wanted to hear from you two level-headed guys to say if it is panic mode, and if it's not panic mode, then when should people start to hit the panic button on this season?
I don't think right now. I think you can start wondering right now, but panic mode, I would say if he gets under that threshold that we spoke about, whether he could be MVP and anything like that. I think if he gets under that, then because guys want to accomplish those awards, and if he's not playing, then that's telling us that it's more serious than maybe is being advertised. Mm-hmm. So I would say if he gets close to that and he gets under that 65 or 67 threshold for awards, then to me, I'm saying that this is something that's could linger.
So my meter will rise after every loss, just to say that. Right now, I think I'm at like a 6 out of 10 on the panic meter. We'll just see when Joel plays next, but I think he'll try to give it a go against the Nuggets. I'm partially biased because going to that game, so I'm trying to put it out in the universe. But even if he does, what then? Will he miss like the next 3 games? Is it going to be one of those things where he plays one game, his knee swells up, and then he misses the next like week? And how long can we sustain that before they just shut him down for 4 to 6 weeks straight and actually give him time to rest? Even though they're saying it's not a 4 or 6 weeks injury. Okay, I get that. I just don't know. I'll be more panicked when we get behind some of those teams that are creeping up on us. When we're like the 7th, 8th seed, that's when I'll be like, whoa, we're in play-in game status now, But yeah, I think a lot more will become clear, like when Eric said, when he goes, when he misses the MVP games played threshold. I think once he passes that number, I think it'll mostly be about keeping him healthy for the playoffs. I think if he gets beyond that and he tries staving it off by playing every few games and trying to like put it off, once he goes below that, I think he misses just like it becomes at that point playoff health. Because now a part of him probably, he's thinking about that. He wants to keep within that threshold, right? So once that's out and he's not prolonging this injury anymore, then it'll just be all about getting him right for the rest of the season. Whereas right now, I think he's trying to play in as many games as possible to keep that MVP up.
I guess as far as the keeping playoff health in mind, like if once he surpasses that threshold of the MVP thing and all the offseason or the awards and stuff, at what point do we kind of balance the not being a play-in team, because that is extra games we'll have to play if we fall into that 10 to 7 spot. I mean, that's kind of where like at what point do you just prioritize getting into the playoffs or prioritize not being in the 7 to 10 spot? Because I think more so than forget the award stuff. I think that's where we kind of have to find a spot there. What do you guys think about that as far as prioritizing being a 7 to 10 spot versus just trying to win enough games we're outside of that? Because then extra games is extra games. If we have to be in the play-in spot, then that's tough. Obviously, Embiid's health is the utmost importance.
I think you got to try to get the best seeds you can get. In the past, it's hurt us. It didn't really help us. Last couple of years, I mean, we've lost with home court. We've lost without home court. So,
true.
I do think that the home court can come into your favor, especially, I believe, in the first round. When you're playing a team that maybe isn't as good as you, but then all of a sudden that team gets a home court advantage, and all of a sudden you look at a young team like the Pacers or something like that. You all of a sudden you playing them at a game 7 on their court. It's different. It is different. So I think that matters more to me, maybe more than other people. But I mean, obviously, if guys aren't healthy, I mean, I don't think either way, it could hurt you. But I mean, unfortunately, it's a serious concern that we're speaking about it right now. That hopefully it doesn't happen going forward. And the reason why he's missing games now is because it's not going to be a prolonging thing. So, but the fact that we're having this conversation and the fact that there's so much uncertainty with it, has me a little worried.
As far as we go, I don't think we give a crap about the awards. As far as the Sixers go, I don't think they care about MVP or anything else. He cares about that. I don't think they do. But like we said last week, we're going to see how much he prioritizes playoffs, second round, and championship over MVP trophies. Because if you care more about that, then you're going to miss games, even if you go below that threshold, just to stay healthy. Because he's won the MVP already. And have we had a playoffs of healthy Joel? We haven't, I don't think, right? No. Either health or like sickness.
Yeah.
Every single time. So, I mean, that needs to happen at least once in his career. Otherwise he'll be
that's what he's going to be judged on.
That's what I'm saying.
At the end of the day, that's what he's going to be judged on. Yeah, he's going to be judged on that for whatever reason.
Yeah. He will eventually. Some people are tired of it, but at the same time, if he doesn't start to have some healthy playoff performances, after a while, that's just who he's going to be. They're not going to be like, yeah, but he was never healthy in the playoffs. Okay, but if you have a whole career of not being healthy in the playoffs, then that's who you were. That was your career, right?
Yeah, that becomes part of your legacy. So for him to be in the conversation with the greats at his position, this is where it will be separation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what even Shaq was alluding to. Like, I want to see him do what he's doing in the playoffs, and I think hopefully him missing games, like what you guys are alluding to, is like hopefully missing games is trying to keep him right for the playoffs because he's already checked off that MVP on his repertoire, on his resume. Now it's advancing in the playoffs, and hopefully that is resting now so he can be healthier in the stretch. Hopefully. I do find it weird that Shelburne's usually really on it for the fact that she reports this 4 to 6 week thing, and then all of a sudden retracts. That's kind of weird. Day to day, 4 to 6 weeks is a big difference there.
Quick retraction too.
Yeah,
that was someone from Joel's camp.
She retracted the statement that the injury or the time frame or both.
Both.
All of them.
Both.
Yeah, at first she said it was the same injury he had in the playoffs, which required a 4 to 6 week timeline, and she was like, oh, it's not the same injury. It's day to day.
It's weird.
Yeah.
So day to day means he's playing. Day to day means he's playing today.
No.
Today would be one of the days off, I guess, or days to resting.
I mean, because he hasn't played. So what is day to day if you haven't played in a week or whatever? How are you day to day? Yeah.
When does that get upgraded to week?
Yeah, I mean that's week to week to me. Not
yeah, it's pretty much day to day. I think it's just we'll see.
So yeah, I mean that's
just really vague.
Yeah, somebody.
If I have to bet, I think he plays against the Nuggets on Tuesday. I think that's his next game.
Okay.
You think he bypassed? Obviously, this game, the Houston game.
Yes.
So you won't play back to back. What you're saying?
Well, because okay, let's say on Sundays, like I'm feeling pretty good. I'm gonna be able to play one of these games. Which one is he gonna choose? The Houston one or the Denver one? Come on, he wants to play the Denver one.
And there's rest after that game too.
Yeah,
a few days. So
yeah.
Well, hopefully for our sake.
Yeah, but why, if you're healthy enough to play Tuesday, and then like why can't you why aren't the other games more important or just as important? That's what I get what you're saying, but to me, it's like you play whichever game you're healthy enough to play, no matter who the opponent is.
Yeah, but I think they know ahead of time. Let's be honest. He's not going to play in a back-to-back after being out for over a week.
Or maybe that is the case. Maybe they want to keep him out so he can play in the back-to-backs and he can play in the upcoming games here. I don't. Maybe
tonight's not nationally televised, right?
What's that?
Tonight is not nationally televised.
Yes,
yes, it is.
Games.
The next 3 games are.
Yep.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay. So
ESPN, NBA TV, and TNT.
Well, he's probably going to miss 2 out of those 3 national games.
I could see him playing Houston. I could see him playing, just being right for the upcoming trips that we have, and just being ready for the next 2 national televised games. I could definitely see him playing Monday.
Right.
I think he's definitely going to play Tuesday, but I think there's like a 80% chance he plays Monday.
I think if he plays Monday, he doesn't play Tuesday. Not if his knee's swelling up after workouts. His knee will be swollen after Monday.
Yeah, he'll play Monday or Tuesday.
Yeah.
He'll only get flack if he doesn't play Tuesday. And he plays
yes.
Monday.
Yeah.
Yes. 100%. Which is why I think if it's a choice for him and the team, he's playing Tuesday.
Yeah. And I would make the argument. Also, too, I would make the argument we can beat Sacramento, we can beat Houston without him. I think Denver, that's where it comes in a little bit.
Strategically, the decision would make sense.
Yeah. Both tough teams, though.
Some people can make the argument that we can also lose to those teams without him.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I agree with that, too.
And lately, even with him.
Yeah. Yeah, I think my panic meter is probably right around where you guys are right now. I just do think it's the losing the games. Like, for example, we talk about how some of these games matter at the end of the season. Like the Utah Jazz of the world, the Charlotte Hornets games of the world. Without Embiid, there's a chance we could lose those games. And like not winning those games, those are gimme games we should be getting at home. That's where it's like when we start losing those, like with the Jazz game last week, that's where I get scared. And that's where I'm starting to get that more in that panic direction.